I love learning from my students, but I especially love learning from their creativity. They definitely see the world in a really unique way, and I love getting to get glimpses of that, the way that they think about research, the way they think about how information is spread online. It's all really interesting, and it comes from a really different perspective than one that I hold, so I love learning those things from them. Something that I'm sure people are going to be shocked to come out of my mouth is that there's nothing wrong with Google, right? When we have information literacy skills, we can use tools like Google to find basic information and be critical of the information we consume. Google is a really, really powerful search engine, so let's use it, especially after you've come and graduated from Park University and you don't have access to as many databases or, paid resources as before. My goal is to equip students with the skills they need to be discerning and careful with free resources like Google, but also empowered to be able to find credible information on Google. So when I'm looking for something or when I begin doing research, a lot of times my first instinct is to pull up Google. And it has a lot of really great uses, right? There's all kinds of information on there. It's just about being careful and being discerning about the information that we consume. And one of my favorite things to teach students is about information need and measuring whether a source like Google is going to meet our information need, right? If I'm just looking up, what time the library opens or closes, Google is great for that, right? But if I want to do in-depth research about the different kinds of preschools that I could send my child to, that might take a little bit more in-depth and a little bit more discernment in what kind of information I should trust or I should look to. So learning about your information need and how to discern what sources will work to satisfy that information need is a key skill for students and something that I really try and focus on when I am doing my own personal research. Since we have such a diverse population of Park students, they're really all over the map with what they come into college knowing, especially with information literacy skills. Sometimes I'm teaching a class and I have one student who has done advanced level research and one student who has never done internet research ever before in their life. And so it's really interesting because I go into these classes or I provide instructional materials and I could have a whole range of students that are all different levels and abilities and prior knowledge of research and information literacy all in one class. So it can be a real challenge to cater to every single one's need and has really helped me strengthen as an instructor and as a librarian to meet students where they're at, regardless of where they're at on that spectrum. Here at Park, we have such an interesting landscape of students, but we actually have a really small staff of library staff, and it's really important to us that we do everything we can with the capacity that we have. And I began to think about this concept last summer of how we can do a lot with a little. And a lot of the professional books that are out there for librarians to learn and read about have really big budgets and really big staff of faculty and staff that are there to support the library. And it just wasn't super realistic for us to utilize any of those books and the concepts that they talk about. So I had the idea to actually edit and write a book that really focused on how small to mid-sized institutions like Park support students in wellness and student success in library services, and how we as library teams, small library teams, really support students to the best of our ability with low budgets and low capacity of staff.